Welcome to some bonus ThrabenU content. I have, as of right now, recorded 5 Cube videos that I'm going to be putting up on Saturdays for the next month. Cube is something that doesn't normally do well on my channel, so if you enjoy these, like, comments, tell me you subscribe because of this video, that sort of stuff, make me a donation. Show me that it is worth my time to post these Cube videos, and they might end up continuing in the future. If you enjoy buying magic cards, check out Cool Stuff Inc. and use promo code ThrabenU to save a little bit on your next order. And with that being said, I hope you enjoy these videos. There's not going to be a fancy ending to them or anything. They're just going to abruptly end. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day when you finish watching the video. All right, we're back at it again. I've got some really good options for this. Mind Twist is the one that just started randomly highlighted. Mind Twist is not literally a game-ending card on its own. Like, your opponent still gets to top deck afterwards, but like in a format with as much fast mana as this, it is very reasonable to Mind Twist your opponent for 3 or 4 cards in the first couple of turns. I can also just take Recurring Nightmare and build around Recurring Nightmare. Those are the two that I'm looking at. Karn Scion of Urza is not crazy either. I know myself, and I know that I really love Mind Twist. It was a little early to commit to Upheaval. Green-black is a reasonable way to go after first picking a Mind Twist. Underground Sea is also very good. I think I'm going to take Elvish Mystic, and if that Recurring Nightmare wheels, we're in business. I don't know all the words on this one. We got a Disenchant, gain 5, make a Rhino shield counter. You get 2 of them. Jace the Mind Sculptor is something that I used to find very exciting that I don't even think I'm going to consider. World of Phyrexia is cool, but I don't think we're that big yet. I think I'm just going to take the very safe Night's Whisper. Sure. Again, I think Show and Tell's a trap. Cityscape Leveler is a payoff card for ramp. I'm not really guaranteed to be in green yet. I can play this as just a mana sink. I don't really know with this pick. This feels replaceable, but strong. I'm gonna stay in black here. You give me Wormcoil Engine again. I'm going to take it. I love this fucking card so much. Ugin? I'm not guaranteed to be in green. Like, I could play this and be in sort of a black aggro niche. Maybe end up pairing it with red. Red looks to be pretty open. Let's take the Evolved Sleeper. Urborg is very reasonable. I might go into red. I could also just like take this generic card, but I don't know that anyone is the beatdown. And if nobody is going to be the beatdown, I will cave and I will be the beatdown. Being tested. So I'm not like the most excited about this card. I can just take Valky here over Mirror Battlesphere. Green hasn't exactly been flowing. And I'm not unhappy to have a top end of Wormcoil Engine. Mana fixing might end up being more important in this draft. Most of the way through pack 1 here, I'm a little unsure what I'm doing. Like, the black feels good. The black is happening, but... Massacre Girl? Blackcleave Cliffs is also pretty good. Not guaranteed to be in red, though. Let's take the Massacre Girl, cut black really hard, try to send a strong signal. Like, this has the potential to just end the game in some matchups, and even if I don't play this in my main deck, I'm super happy to have this as a sideboard option. Let's ignore the ability on this and pick this as a 3/2 creature. Like, we're probably never activating that 5 mana ability in limited. Ooh. Yeah, okay. So the read that red might be open is accurate. We are getting these aggressive red creatures back. It's not like they're the lowest on the curve red creatures or anything, but this is good. Holy fuck, Embercleave. Okay. Alright. Elvish Mystic, please move to the sideboard. Wormcoil Engine might not even be making the game 1 deck anymore. Ooh, red-black land? Don't mind if I do. Take a Flicker Wisp. We've got some white cards in the sideboard, but I feel very good about red. Mana Vault. Snuff Out. So this is an early removal spell that can be a nice flood insurance. I saw this one in my last draft. It's essentially a 4-mana, 3/4 menace that takes a card out of your opponent's hand. I think I wheel, like, this out of the pack, or maybe even the Snuff Out. I think I'm going to take the Mana Vault still. Like, it is just Mana Vault. Oh, wow, these cards are very good for me. I am probably just going to start on the Ragavan, though. Jitte and Flametongue Kavu are both very strong. Jitte is a game ender versus fair decks in limited. Not crazy that FTK would come back. It probably doesn't. Like, there's probably someone playing a little red in their deck. Let's take Jitte. Also, stating the obvious, Mana Vault plus Mind Twist. Good. Ooh. I like these cards. Fire Covenant is an insane, just absolutely insane one-sided board wipe. I think I'm going to take that. There's a good chance I wheel something from this pack that I will really enjoy. Let's move Wormcoil Engine to the sideboard. We're going to try not to go up to 6. Like, I'll be okay sideboarding that in for a slower match. Good cards continue to be good. We can take a 6-mana burn spell. I kind of just like a 3-mana 3/3 Menace Lifelinker. That is flood insurance. I could just play the less expensive card though. I just play the 3/2 or 2 mana. I don't think I want to go down to the 1-drop. Let's stay low to the curve. Oh wow. There are really good cards for you. I don't know you. When you attack, you can discard a card. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. It gains trample. When you discard a card, you can play the top one until end of turn. Okay. Is that better than Dalthy Voidwalker? Maybe. Sometimes. It's not black, which is a thing it has going for it. But I think I like the evasion here. Glorybringer. Contagion is cute. Porcelain Legionnaire is actually perfectly reasonable. I think I like Glorybringer as a curve-topping removal spell. Let's send Massacre Girl to the sideboard at this point. So in pack 3, some discard would be cool, and a few spot removal spells to help these creatures get through would be cool. Burgy? I'll take it as a 3/3. Not excited about it. And I assume that I'll end up cutting that. Alright, 3 reasonable cards here that I could pick. I said I do specifically want a spot removal spell, and this is that. This is also just a menace creature that's disruptive. I'm not sure which of these I should take. I'm going to take the removal spell. It seems like I'm going to have stuff to do with my mana. I don't know that I want to invest in flipping that card. Duress and Fatal Push are both great. I'm not going to be the best at triggering Revolt. I think I'm going to take the Duress. Environmental Synthesizer wouldn't be crazy either. But I'm not in like white where I would have more synergy with it. We'll take an Underworld Breach, but I do not expect that I will end up with enough stuff to do anything broken with that. Yeah. The Mutt is unexciting. But we are just trying to reduce people's life total to 0 before they play their big broken cards. I might play a Bomat Courier. Take a hero for sideboard, but we're not playing that. No one respects the Yogg Will. Demonic Tutor is Demonic Tutor? Beastros Factory is pretty good. Gut's really aggressive. Gix is pretty good too. So this might be crazy person talk. I don't think I'm taking Demonic Tutor. Other than the Mind Twist, which is situationally good, I don't know that I want to take 2 mana off to cast that. I think I just want to take Gut or Gix here. I think I'm going to take Gut. Figure of Destiny is reasonable. Troll? Troll's cool. I think I like Bitter Triumph, though. It is just generic good removal. Burst Lightning, Dark Confidant, Fire are all things that I'd probably put in my deck. Dark Confidant, it'll be a little sketch if I end up playing these things. I think I'm just going to take Burst Lightning. We're going to be A-okay on playables here. What's this one do? Target creature with power less than or equal to its power can't block this turn. With Eternalize, comes back as a 4/4. That's pretty reasonable. Let's play that. That one may not make it into the main deck. God damn it, I could have gotten Hexmage Depths. Tilt. +3/+1. When it attacks, make 2 creatures. Yes. Delayed Blast Fireball, also really good. I think I just want this equipment, though. Like, with that and Jitte, I have very good ways to power up my stuff. Gaia's Cradle as a colorless land that makes more than 1 mana is probably the only consideration here. I don't think I'm going to do that. Because I have some black cards like Douthie Voidwalker. Dismember is great. Brea's Apprentice is fine. I don't think I passed Dismember, though. We're going to be pretty good at forcing damage in. This one's pretty mid. I can take Necromancy, or I can take Shadow Spear as a sideboard card versus another aggressive deck. I think I'm more interested in sideboard Necromancy. Gix comes back, which was a card I was considering first picking. Not a super powerful card in a vacuum, but pretty good with what I've got going on here. We'll pick Figure of Destiny and potentially run it. Gives me another reasonable 1-drop, which is something that I might end up wanting. Dark Confidant or Fire Blast. I'm probably not running either in the main deck. I think it's more likely that I end up wanting this. We'll put a Corpse Dance in the sideboard. Okay. I don't think we... Well, I don't know. Delayed Blast Fireball is probably a card for the board. Roaming Throne is colorless, so I'll pick it. I'll reevaluate my stuff. I don't think I'm playing that. Like, carves down here. And that will round out the draft for me. Okay, here's where I think we end up build-wise. I think this is a 16-land deck. I have a couple of curve toppers, but generally speaking, we're going to operate pretty well on 2 or 3 mana. In terms of what didn't make the cut, I had to leave a couple of removal spells in the sideboard. Like, I have very good removal. And while the Virtue was something I was relatively excited about, and I think it offers good flexibility, and I expect to board it in sometimes, I think that goes. I'm unsure about the Embercleave. Like, it's Embercleave. It was a standard defining card. I might board it in sometimes, but there's going to be a lot of times where I'm not actually attacking with all that many creatures because I'm like playing a creature and then using removal and discard to get tempo. So I think it is just better to be playing this equipment instead of the Embercleave. I don't know that I get a third. This is kind of what I'm thinking. I wish my mana was a little bit better. Like, we have some things that really require multiple of the same mana pip to be super effective. But I think this is about where we're at. Let's see how this performs. So this is not a particularly unfair hand, but that's what we've signed up for, playing an aggro deck. So we're gonna see how good this ends up being. I don't necessarily think this one is worth mulliganing or anything, but it's not going to come out the gates quite as fast as I would like versus a ramp deck. Black as a secondary color. Blue potentially as a tertiary color, although I'm not going to read too much into that until I see a blue card. Yeah, sure, that's fine. So since my opponent has already ramped more, I don't know that I'm supposed to use my one removal spell in hand here to kill the bird. I think since it is a catch-all removal spell, I use it on the first big thing that my opponent plays. Tireless Tracker, followed by a fetch land for maximum value. So now my opponent just gets to investigate twice. Blues are good. Opponent can even crack one immediately. And Imperial Seal, which is horrifying. If I don't draw another removal spell, my Bitter Triumph might have to be saved for whatever Imperial Seal is about to find. Potentially means trading Misery's Shadow with Tireless Tracker. I guess my opponent doesn't block though, right? I guess if I play Gix pre-combat, and make it more attractive for my opponent to trade that body. Although, like, they can scale it up with clues, so I don't know. Send them. Alright, opponent says no. Pay the life to draw. The next turn I get to Bitter Triumph one way or another. And we'll just see how broken of a thing my opponent has. Oh, that's a pretty broken thing. Yeah, so I can reduce my opponent's life total. Oh, fuck. What a hit. What a hit. My opponent has to blow up 2 of their lands in process. Cool. This could go in any order. This Burst Lightning may end up killing my opponent. So let's play this. Bitter Triumph, I think paying life. Let's just kill that, get that out of the way. You can blow up one of my swamps. I intentionally didn't play Mountain. And now we'll crash in. Burst Lightning is Reach. Earthshaker Kenra is sort of like Reach as well. I will pay the life to draw another card. We've got to get new land drops here. My opponent probably doesn't get to do anything cool with Bolas's Citadel unless they can get to 10 non-land permanents to bleed me out. But they took themselves off multiple colors to put that Sundering Titan in play. I think I'm into just playing Earthshaker Kenra this turn and attacking, because then the birds can't jump block. This is theoretical lethal. No block for you. Orcish Bowmasters would be an insane card for my opponent to have. Contagion. Yeah, no, that was real good. Sort of a niche card that was exactly what my opponent needed to survive that turn. They're on mono swamps here, plus a talisman. If they ever tap that talisman for color and mana, though, get them. Alright, they are on Clue O'Clock here. With any land, I get to just play another body. The bodies are really strong right now. That's cracking another clue. A Walking Ballista for 0? Question mark, question mark, question mark? I'm going to assume that that was just a misclick of this. Okay, so you're like 6 to come back. You're 6 to come back. So I can attack and force a bird chump block here. I am unsure if that is better than just playing Rampaging for Acidon, because then my opponent plays any one creature and Burst Lightning kills them. So I'm just going to go this route. Kraken Clues. There's some green mana. Not that my opponent didn't have any green mana, but the birds wasn't really in a position to tap. Also, the secondary text here just says that opponents can't gain life. Yeah. So we beat Bolas's Citadel Sundering Titan, folks, with our fair Rakdos deck. So, I think I like additional removal versus this deck. So I've got that Storybook card, Virtue of Persistence, and Delayed Blast Fireball. I think I'm going to bring in both of those. I think this game is not about cards in hand. I think that one's going to go. And Duress is probably a highly volatile card. I think we'll just play to the board and largely ignore the hand. Valky gets the pass because, like, Valky is still just a body that can hold equipment. And I don't think I'm going to slow down this game enough that I want a 6-drop. Yeah, this is totally fine. I think I play Evolved Sleeper on 1 rather than Figure of Destiny. Figure of Destiny is more pip intensive later on. Imp Seal, you got it. Tenacious Underdog, sure. Let's play a dude. Opponent's Bolas's Citadel. Last game was pretty sweet. Soul Ring is a fantastic pickup. Sure. Land drop. I think I'm just playing this as a 3-2 this turn cycle. Like, my original plan was level this, play this. Is that better? I don't think that's better. Also, since my opponent showed me a Contagion, I'm probably supposed to attack for my 1 prior to doing this play. Small misplay on my end. Oh, wow, okay. Hold on now. That is... Ward 2 is pretty annoying. Using Human? Is this any triggered ability? Yeah, okay. No, I get what's going on here, and I don't like it. Earthshaker Kenra not quite at the right timing. I can double level this for a Death Touch counter and still effectively swing in. I think my opponent's got this game. Alright, so second mode. Attack with the Death Toucher. I do have some really good removal in my deck that I can draw to help break this board, but if my opponent gets to keep tapping that workshop to do gross things, like, I am not going to keep up with that. Oh, like that's fine. I'm okay with my opponent casting a Mystic Forge. Like, that is somewhat likely to result in them losing more life over the course of this game. I get to just play a 4/4 with haste that can attack into Roaming Throne on my turn. Ooh, that is a scary card. That card can potentially go infinite with stuff. I think I am just playing my, like, Ball Lightning Dinosaur and getting in there. Death Toucher can attack, you can attack. I don't think you get to just attack freely into Roaming Throne until I have a removal spell. Alright, fantastic. Very happy with this trade. Oh, hell yeah. Now, Displacer Kitten may eat me alive, like, full disclosure, that is a thing that can happen. But if my opponent isn't just, all on artifacts, we might still be able to beat this Mishra's Workshop. Alright, they have junked a Spelunking, which just lets you make an extra land drop. Well, it's not scary. 1 card left. I mean, Mystic Forge is a thing, though. Clues plus Mystic Forge is cute. My opponent can, like... Oh, alright, Kraken again. So my opponent can, like, play something with off Mystic Forge and then Displacer Kitten, like a Soul Ring to get more mana. Okay. Did they not? Oh, they exiled Displacer Kitten with its own ability? That seems wrong. So then... I don't think my opponent has played with very much Displacer Kitten, because they could have had 4 more mana available this turn, or multiple card selections off the top here. Okay. So I can do Earthshaker Kenra, bash in for 5, and then play Misery Shadow. That sounds pretty good. Bam. You don't get to block. 5 damage in. Opponent's at 5. And we'll play something that has to be blocked or it's lethal next turn. Alright, they don't like that card. Every point of life is very precious here. I don't remember whether or not I killed my opponent with Burst Lightning last game or whether they just conceded. But they should expect that I have Burn in my deck. We're getting movement on something. Is that Contagion? That is Contagion. Alright, my opponent's got the memo on mana this time. Sure. Misery Shadow still lethal. Oh yeah. No, keep dropping those points of life. Blue now on the table. Oh god. I don't remember all the words on this one, but I know it's bad. Oh yeah, this is fucking bad. Because this can just be a removal spell on one of my creatures every turn. Like every time my opponent casts a spell, they can just blink this and kill another creature. Yeah, that's super bad. Super, super bad. Oh my god, they missed it. We'll take that. Kappa Cannoneer. That's pretty good. Displacer Kitten not coming in. So Earthshaker Kendra can come back, in theory, 1 turn from now. I think I am on the play creatures into this. And if my opponent takes a single point of damage off like I'm just going to 2-2 this right now. A single point of damage off the Pharasodon, then Burst Lightning becomes an out to kill my opponent. Between Pharasodon and Mystic Forge, like it's pretty likely that my opponent puts themselves in range of Burst Lightning. And my opponent hasn't shown me too many instants, so there's a good chance that just tricky Earthshaker Kendra coming back might steal this game for me. Wow, that is aggressive. Bolas's Citadel. Sure. They're choosing draw 2 rather than kill one of my creatures. Oh no, okay, no they are. Sorry, it just flashed the wrong thing momentarily. Alright, how close do we are 10 to 10 non-land permanents? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretty close. Like I could die from 20 this turn. There's another land drop. I imagine no attacks. A Dismember. It's been a while. What are the middle modes here? Base power 4. So hopefully my opponent doesn't have an instant. Let's dismember this and play Gix. I think I'll pay 2 life on this. If my opponent doesn't have an instant, they are dead. Alright. I am on the play with a card that's been banned in Legacy. So we're going to assume that this is good. In an ideal world, Ragavan hits something for me to do on turn 2. Like hitting a mana rock would be real cool here, so I can just play Rampaging Raptor next turn. Alright. Get a swamp. I'll play my own swamp, and we'll go ahead and use our treasure to play Najeela, because Ragavan is a fair card. And I think playing Najeela is better than just playing the Raptor immediately. Like, Najeela helps me go wide. Do you have a blocker? As long as your blocker doesn't have 3 toughness, I don't super care about it. It is a Collective Brutality. Oh man, they junked a Dig Through Time. So they're trying to duress me as well, and they are going to miss on that. I would love to draw another creature or like a piece of equipment to do this turn. That's not quite it. But Najeela starts to go wide. Note, and this says whenever a warrior, so this will scale up over time. We pass the turn with Dismember up for a potential removal spell, or sorry, for a potential blocker. That's a 3/3 base. Yeah, and I can pay life equal to its power. That's fine. So I will pay the 3 life. Get that out of the way. Drop a land. Make dinosaur noises. And my opponent scoops it up. I don't know how much I'm going to sideboard here. I just didn't see very much of my opponent's deck before I killed them. I think I'm going to just board out Duress for an extra removal spell. My opponent just showed me a 3/3 lifelinker, so like I would always like to be able to kill that. I could go bigger with something like Delayed Blast Fireball. That could clean up some mana dorks or something that my opponent would be playing. I think it's too high variance, though. So, I don't have red mana with this hand. I do have a turn 2 play that potentially can become very good. I can follow it up with a Aim to Turok on turn 3. I'm going to say that this is fine. Shelldock Isle is not super spooky right now. But my hand here is definitely less good than my hand last time. The other swamp is like actively not what I want. We do have fewer red sources in the deck than black sources. Alright, we're chilling. Okay, there's a red source. That is fantastic. Let's Valky. Perfectly happy trading with the days. That means Mind Twist doesn't just immediately get countered. Sure. True Name Nemesis is a pain in the ass. So, is this Mind Twist for X is 2? I could try to greed more. My opponent will have 5 cards in hand. We'll probably play a land and 1 card. I could potentially get 3 cards out of this. I think I'm going to just take the guaranteed here. Necromancy and Marsh Flats. We are not doing a very good job of being the aggro deck here. It is turn 4 and we are behind in terms of life total. Not where I want to be. Dismember does not kill True Name Nemesis, unfortunately. This card is good. It is my most aggressive play, but I don't have red. So we're not doing this. I could blitz this in. I think I just cast it. Then cast Figure of Destiny. A removal spell. What is this? Combat damage to a player, chorus counter, loot. There's 4 or more counters on it. And cast a discarded card without paying its mana cost. Sure. I think it is worth the life to just nope that right now. Like, we should be able to out-aggro a True Name Nemesis. I saved 2 life by not taking the 2 damage. It was really like just paying 2 life with that card. Also, sometimes True Name goes on the defensive. Opponent started to cast something and then just didn't. So they've got some instant they can play. Noted. Get to attack for 5 this turn. Scale up. How dare you? How dare you? Sure. I don't have another red to activate. I think my opponent was just supposed to Bowmasters on their own turn, because if I draw another red land, that line doesn't work anymore. I think that was greedy. It might not end up mattering, but feels greedy. Sure. My opponent's got some nice graveyard-based synergies. Note that this only does creatures that die, not ones that are looted. Bolas Citadel. Sure. Are you still the beatdown, or are you going to turtle up? Feels like you're supposed to be the beatdown. Yep. I'm at 7. Okay. Play this. I think we're just crashing in. I can blitz that from the graveyard. And then we'll just go ahead and pump this up. My opponent takes 8. Going to 9. And I very potentially kill them next turn. Like, this is a thing that I can activate multiple times. Liliana of the Veil. That makes me lose this shadow. Oh, and this is also good against planeswalkers, right? Yeah. I sacrifice this. Unless my opponent's last card is something like Dismember. They seem pretty dead. I guess this only hits my opponent for 8. Alright. Attack you. Yeah, that rogue is fine. Oh, fuck, that rogue's not fine. That just kills me. Fuck. Yeah, it puts my opponent to 1. Then I die to the rogue. It ignored that because it wasn't relevant previously. Like, I could blitz, get 1 card deeper. That doesn't change anything. I leave this back. I get attacked to 1. Then this is my draw. This is another creature. Yeah, okay. I think they've just got me. I think no changes here. Massacre Girl isn't out to True Name Nemesis. I think I aggro through True Name Nemesis a good portion of the time. I'm gonna say this is fine. It doesn't get out in front of my opponent as fast as I would like. I'm really good at killing my opponent's stuff, and Jitte is Jitte. Like, we haven't gotten that online yet, but it should do some serious work. Feel a little awkward if my Knight's Whisper got dazed. Oh, please don't have, like, Soul Ring. Okay, it's not Soul Ring. Gut is very reasonable. Alright, so now I've got my next land drop covered, and I can start getting aggressive. And we'll just see if what I'm doing ends up being fast enough. Mana Vault. If I play Mana Vault, I have 5 mana this turn. I know my opponent potentially has Orcish Bowmasters. Let's go ahead and Mana Vault. I'm going to play the Racidon here, and then drop Jitte. And that is a very solid play versus like end of turn Bowmasters because it costs more mana. Phyrexian Flesh Gorger goes to graveyard. And I can technically, it does not go to graveyard. They put it under currency converter. So that is a 2/2 rogue at any time my opponent would like. Now the Flesh Gorger is back in graveyard and could be reanimated. Fire Covenant is like very awkward versus Ward 7 life. Okay, cool. That's an animate dead. Okay, pay 6 life. Oh man, Mana Vault. Mana Vault is a little rough here. So I can pay 13 life to Fire Covenant both of those things off the board, and then try to gain life with Jitte. That is probably what I have to do to win. But it is absolutely a thanks I hate it moment. So take another 6. Ugh. Days? Well, we're dead on board to Menace. Absolutely fucking savaged. Alright, we'll keep this one. It's not as aggressive as we might like. We have a Burst Lightning for an initial Mana Dork or something like that. And then we can set up a Mind Twist afterwards. Goal Clamp is a fair and balanced Magic the Gathering card. And I'm sure we have nothing to worry about. Okay. Burst Lightning may not be able to kill what my opponent plays this turn anymore. Knight of the Reliquary is currently a 3/3 because of that discarded Mox Diamond land. That is super unfortunate. Also unfortunate is the fact that this ETB is tapped, so I can't like Ragavan block and then Burst Lightning. Also unfortunate is the fact that my opponent has 2 cards, so like this Mind Twist is not going to be particularly good. I think I am supposed to take this as a bad duress and hope to hit one of my opponent's threats here. Well, we grew the Knight of the Reliquary. That was always a thing that could happen. See if my opponent has any. What is this? ETBs or attacks make a map token. Sacrifice this artifact, target creature you control explores. Okay, got it. Yeah, my Burst Lightning is just the wrong removal spell here. Just fully. Valky? Probably. Play this, see if there's a creature over there I can temporarily grab. Exile the top 5 cards of your library. You can play cards exiled this way until end of turn. You can play an additional land this turn. This does not seem like a good Magic the Gathering card. In before, it just absolutely destroys me. Map token is a little awkward. Oh no, it's activate only as a sorcery. It's not awkward at all. Bloodstained Mire. Sure. Knight keeps getting bigger. Yes. Thanks, I hate it. So that makes a new map token. So this is really a 5/5, so I can't kill it with Burst Lightning. I also don't think I can just take this amount of damage. So I think we are going to end up giving our opponent some cards. But I don't have to do it until the end step. Take 5. If that gets a +1/+1 counter, it's still dead to Burst Lightning. Valakut Exploration. Alright, land-themed deck. I see where you're going. I think all I have to do is draw a removal spell for this Knight of the Reliquary, and I'm actually doing just fine. Like, it can be a Dismember right now. Although the window on that is closing. Does give my opponent 2 cards off Skull Clamp, which I hate. Earthshaker Kenra is not what I'm looking for. We're probably just dashing Ragavan and trying to get something good from my opponent's deck. Ragavan. Ramunap Excavator? Doesn't really do anything flashy right now, but I'll play it. Cool. Ragavan bounces back to my hand. Problem is that Knight probably gets out of Dismember range this turn. My life total is getting low for the 2 mana pay 3 life one. Sure. Okay. So my opponent can play these. Oh, this is until the end of your next turn, not the end of this turn. Okay, that card's much better than I thought it was. Scape Shift. Interesting. Yeah, that Knight of the Reliquary can get really fucking big then. I think I take the hit. Because the next time Knight attacks, it could just literally be lethal. Eternal Witness to do this again is also pretty cute. So I think we are on just cast a couple of cards as the plan. Probably with the intention of just chump blocking. No lands and graveyard to play. I don't know that the Scape Shift outright kills me. It's probably just there to like combo with Valakut Exploration. Oh wait, my opponent has that in hand, right? And enough mana to do both? That's horrifying. They'll just like play Manamorphose to cycle, probably make some red mana. Oh, we've got other colors. You have like Omnath in there too. Crab. Oh. Am I gonna die to being milled? Yeah, Scape Shift. 6 times 3, 18. No. Plus Knight, 21. Alright, there's the Valakut Exploration. My opponent can now sack a land to Knight to get to 4th mana. And then Scape Shift just kills me. So at this point, with Scape Shift, I think there is just a deterministic kill, and I don't think I want my opponent to see more of my deck, so I am going to go ahead and concede here. I may be giving a little bit too much credit to my opponent, like it's possible they don't see that, but I think I'm not beating the large body in play anyway. So I think I like this removal spell. Can help get the what is it, Arboreal Grazer out of the way if my opponent plays that early. Don't think I like Delayed Blast Fireball. I might Ember Cleave. I'm sad that I have never drawn this card and gotten to get this online. Mind Twist seems like it's going to be a miss some portion of the time, as will Duress. Maybe Duress is good enough on the play since it can like take Mox and like Valakut Exploration, Scape Shift. Maybe it's good enough. Okay. I think this one's too awkward. Like, Mana Vault is very good. I just have no threats that I can play. I don't think I want to keep the mono answer hands just conceptually as my deck. This one's better. Glorybringer is just not going to be castable this game. I have to do this land tapped so that I can curve out. Which means that this could potentially get wastelanded and just set me back forever. And that's not happening. A 1/1? Sure. Dash Ragavan's okay. I think I'm just going to play the Shadow. I would like to get a permanent creature in play and get to 4 mana to Jitte Equip. Preferably we Jitte Equip as a surprise. We may not have that luxury. I would love to draw a land next turn to just be able to play Ragavan and then Jitte. That's probably my ideal. Metamorphose is fine. Feels weird to commit to your land drop prior to resolving that spell. Yeah, for exactly that reason. I think I just attack and play Jitte. It's awkward to miss my land drop here. I don't get to play a second body, so removal spells just get better against me. I could Knight's Whisper and then try to play Ragavan afterwards, but I have to specifically hit one of my like 6 or 7 mountains. I don't think I'm into it. Ramunap Excavator. There's a lot of mill with Hedron Crab. They can hit my Tenacious Underdog. Yeah, I would have missed on Ragavan. Sure. Yeah, this crab could like definitely just mill me out. 6 cards per turn is no joke. Alright, I am very happy with that draw. Now I can Jitte equip while still pumping this. Send it. Alright, no blocks from the opponent. I'll use my extra mana to play Ragavan. Sure. I think I am more interested in taking my opponent off of the mana immediately than I am just killing the crab right now. Like in before my opponent scape ships me and it effectively kills me, but feels right. On my turn, I could play Gut pre-combat and then sacrifice my Ragavan when it attacks to get a menace creature. Or just potentially trade Ragavan and a Jitte counter for Ramunap. We'll just see where we're at. You may mill me. Damn, I'm not going to get to play that sword. Oh. That's a problem. That just kills Ragavan. And then my opponent gets to mill me for 6 more. Got it. It's good. Oh. They're out of fetchables. We take those. I have Earthshaker Kenra chilling in there. I think I am interested in Mana Vault. There's 5 total mana. Then I think I Knight's Whisper. Then I can play Gut afterwards, assuming that is still what I want to do. And it looks like it is. So I will play Gut. These are awkward creatures at this current time. I think that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and send this at my opponent. Gut triggers. I'm going to sacrifice my X1 Figure of Destiny. Now, do I have it attack the Ren and 6? I think so, because this is itself innately an X1. Oh yeah, we're happy to kill the Ramunap here. We're fine with combat damage going through. I get some Jitte counters. There's only 1 damage marked on this. I think I don't kill the crab yet. Like, I don't care if I get milled 3 more times. I think that is not a problem. If escape shift or equivalent goes on the stack, that's something different. Pest Infestation. Destroy up to X target artifacts and or enchantments. Create twice that many green pest tokens that give you life. Okay, I mean, that's annoying. Then let's kill the crab. And then I'll gain a little bit of life. That's unfortunate. I was planning on throwing that Mana Vault to make another 4/1. This is just a lot of blockers to, like, do Ren and 6 things with. Sure. I have Earthshaker Kenra in the not too distant future. I can also just use this as a mana sink. And that's perfectly reasonable. I don't think I sacrificed this to Gut. I think I just play this and level it up. Let's send all this stuff at Ren and 6 and see how my opponent feels about losing some pests. Okay. I need to pump 1 mana into this. Kill this Grazer. And then we're good. Play Evolved Sleeper. Make it a Human Cleric. And we'll just Sorcery Speed make it a 3/3 Death Toucher. I just don't think I want to give my opponent the chance to do something cute with timing. Sure, that Bloodstained Mire doesn't really have text right now. Okay, now it has text. That just converts Bloodstained Mire into a 5/3 elemental every turn. Thanks, I hate it. Okay, yep. So Earthshaker Kenra from Graveyard can be a thing, but it's 4/4s is kind of the issue. I think I'm just taking redraws here. Let's lose a life, put a counter on this, draw a card. Fire Covenant is batshit insane. Is this any target? Target creatures specifically. Okay. 3 here, 3 here, 1 here, 1 here. 3, 6, 7, 8 life to clear the board and kill red and 6. Seems good. That was probably my ideal draw. Fantastic. Didn't get blown out by days again. Alright, red and 6, dead. Your face for 2. There's a very good chance that this kills my opponent next turn. Hell yeah. We do have to go to another game, unfortunately. I think I like to rest a little bit less on the draw, because I can't, like, clip Mox Diamond now. There's still some relevant endgame stuff in there. But I might just play Delayed Blast Fireball. It's another thing that just will help me clear my opponent's creatures out of the way, even if I don't do the Foretell side of it. Just 2 damage, clear a Mana Dork or a Hedron Crab, or finish off a 0/3 blocker. Like, that all seems reasonable. Unfortunately, Benevault, good. 1 color with 4 red cards in hand, bad. This is fine. I think I'm going to get rid of Dalthy Voidwalker for not currently being castable. I think there's a very good chance that I draw a swamp in the first couple of turns, but every time I don't draw a swamp and I am operating on a 5-card hand instead of 6 is just absolutely horrific for me. Sure. Metamorphosis is fine. Playing Crab. Playing Mox Diamond. Orcish Lumberjack. And that's it. I will dismember that for the sake of my curve. Let's just get that out of the way so I can just play Valky on my turn and not miss a beat. Scape Shift and a couple of lands. That's fine. I would love to draw a black source to just Gix next turn instead of playing Jitte. They're opting to play a fetch land that they drew, so I still know their exact hand. Earthshaker Kenra? Are we just crashing in for maximum damage, or am I setting up Jitte? I think I set up Jitte. Just having Jitte in play means that I can potentially Earthshaker Kenra through a blocker. And I think this makes a 4th land drop as a draw very good. Yeah, you can fetch to thin or whatever. I also do just have a removal spell for many creatures that my opponent can play. Not necessarily all of them, though. Yep. I guess that's a reason to not do the play that I did. So that's definitely a nuisance. Could have played around that. These are X1 creatures. This is sorcery. This is a sorcery. Alright. One of these pests can't block. I think because of Delayed Blast Fireball, I don't attack. Man, I am kicking myself for playing out that Jitte. That's fine. Alright, so we know about Scape Shift still. Some number of these pest tokens should probably be attacking. This at 7 mana could end up being a reasonable way to win the game. Could Earthshaker Kenra attack to eternalize next turn if I draw a non-black land? That's not crazy talk. I think my opponent just blocked with the 0/3 though and doesn't let this body die. And I don't think I'm willing to fire this off just yet. Maybe I should have boarded in Massacre Girl as well, specifically for pest infestation. Alright, my opponent is scape shifting. They're not floating any mana here, which is weird. Is this just literally I've got nothing? This is a deck thinning scape shift? Sure. Okay, so now some of the pests are attacking. That's fine. I'll take that damage. Alright, there's black for Gix, which I actively like. I think now I'm okay with trading away Earthshaker Kenra. I maybe wait a turn so this can't just like block 1 for free though. Like I can use this as a removal spell and then play the back end of this, potentially the following turn. Ramunap. That's some good synergy if my opponent ends up getting like a Titania or something. Are you gonna have fetchables left for that? Didn't think so. But now I kill this instead with this. I just cast the virtue side, like post combat. I think I kill this. Virtue of persistence. Nope. Locked Wayne Scorn. So let's kill that. And I think start crashing in with everything, because I don't care if my creatures die if they're gonna end up just coming back. Okay, this is just Gex dies no matter what. We're gonna say that that's an okay way to assign damage. I'm very happy that I'm gonna get to draw a card off Gix's trigger. Opponent ends up at 17. Pay a life to draw a card. Evolve Sleeper is perfectly reasonable. We'll do that. And just immediately grow to a base 2/2. Now, this is a graveyard. It can be my opponent's graveyard, so I can get a Ramunap activator back if that's a thing that I want to do. It's also possible that I end up just sinking mana into Evolved Sleeper, depending on what my opponent draws. There's no sorcery speed restrictions on this one, right? Yeah, there's not. Unless I draw another black mana, though I can't level this up to the 3rd stage next turn. A Devoted Druid is not scary right now. Fantastic. Ooh, opponent's got something else, though. An Eternal Witness. Getting Pest Infestation again. Okay. Alright. So the Pest Infestation will kill this if I play this out. The goal is now not to play this out. Okay. Understood. So Death Touch counter, I believe. Draw another card here. Now this is a 4/4 base. So send it. I think we send this. I'm honestly okay trading these bodies, but Delayed Blast Fireball is still a thing that I could draw. Oh, right, that was the reason to attack with both of them. Alright, I knew that. Note, I can keep scaling this up, although that won't necessarily be the correct thing to do. Ooh, that makes next turn scary. Yeah, those are good cards. I think my opponent tapped their lands in about the worst possible way, though. So I might avoid Valakut Exploration hitting play this turn. Rats, the bounce land combo, sneaks it in. Makes next turn pretty legitimately scary. I also have decking and timing my opponent out as secondary win conditions, so we'll keep that in mind. Mana Vault is not particularly exciting. I think I just need more cards. It is a shame that I can't really use this. Let's try to find something relevant. Night's Whisper. Am I still just digging? It's really awkward to not deploy another creature. I think I'm just digging, though. Burst Lightning. Burst Lightning is a way to kill this. So I make Mountain as land drop. I play Mana Vault. Then I have 5 mana to kick Burst Lightning on it. Alright, that's a plan. Send him. Obvious jump block is obvious. And then we'll Mana Vault. Hopefully my opponent doesn't sniff out how important this Mana Vault is. I don't remember whether or not I've shown them Burst Lightning. Like if they Pest Thingy first and then do this in a different phase, it's really awkward for me. They did not do that. Cool. No trigger on the stack. I get to Burst Lightning this. Oh, that's so important to have stopped. Like my opponent can have their land back, and this will trigger Valakut Exploration, but it doesn't necessarily lead to me being in a bad spot. They can play the Pest thing and generate a whole bunch of creatures. A Renin 6. Oh, that's annoying. Like that actively kills my creatures. Yeah. And then there's Once Upon a Time. Yeah, opponent in very real danger of timing out. I might need to play out a couple creatures on my turn to not just die to a couple of pests swinging in over the course of multiple turns. Knight of the Reliquary. That's a big. For sure. And then end of turn, I take a couple more damage from Valakut Exploration. Take one from Mana Vault. I don't think I pay for that ability. I think I go to 8. I don't play this until after Pest Thingy has happened. I think I play multiple creatures this turn in hopes of gumming up the board. Let's attack Renin 6. Like, redrawing into Jetmir's Garden is pretty annoying. Right, we take something out of play. Turns out I could have gotten away with untapping Mana Vault. But I have some very expensive things like Foretell, Delayed Blast Fireball, cast Delayed Blast Fireball that I want to be able to do. I think I'll untap Mana Vault on my next turn, though. Knight is good. Reclaimer is also big. Sure. That is just growing Knight by 1. Don't know. No, I know why. Like, my opponent is at less than a minute on clock. Like, I get that they have to just play their stuff. Sure, yeah, there's the Jetmir's Garden coming back. That stupid pest card. Oh, they just play it rather than cycle it. Sure. Alright, I go down to 7. I will untap this. I've drawn a swamp. Yeah. Do I just cast this? I think no. Do I pay a life to activate this? I think so. Just hit a land. That's unfortunate. That's about the only thing I don't want to draw. Earthshaker Kenra coming back from Graveyard Eternalized is sort of interesting. Skull Clamp. Sure. In Devoted Druid. Put a counter on it to draw 2 cards if you need to. But I don't see how you are not timing out here. Like, what is your plan? Sure. Yeah, I think my opponent did not play, like, this game in a way that likely resulted in them getting a win. I think they had every ability to win this game, but they didn't, and we finished positive in this league. How do we feel about this one at the end? Pretty good. Given that I don't really have anything unfair happening in this deck, I am happy with a 2-1 with this deck. Fire Covenant was exactly as busted as I thought it was going to be. I think we paid like 16 life one time. Good card is good. Evolved Sleeper was much better than I thought it would be. Like, I thought that card would be reasonable, but I thought it would be on par with Figure of Destiny, but it's just like way better than Figure of Destiny is. I like Figure of Destiny a lot less now that like Orcish Bowmasters is in the cube. I feel like I'm talking about Legacy. But like, I definitely felt the X1 creatures dying to things like Run in 6 and Orcish Bowmasters in this league. Again, super sad I didn't draw this card, because like with the evasion that some of my creatures have, this card would have just absolutely popped off. We never got to Glorybringer. We never got to line up Mana Vault plus Mind Twist. But this was just a, rock solid aggro deck, and it goes to show you that you don't necessarily have to be doing the most unfair thing in the world to put up wins in Vintage Cube.